What the fuck is up, Dirt Sheet Radio? It's a brand new fucking day. Look at us. You might be watching us on video right now if I felt like posting it on YouTube, but it would have been out of necessity, not because we planned on doing this shit.
We didn't plan on this? What are you talking about?
This is Jon and Greg here with my boys, Nick and Greg. Introduce yourself.
It's Greg. I'm here.
That one's Greg. Here's me. I'm Nick. I'm here. I'm taking over. This is Dirt Sheet Radio. Is Nick Sheet Radio now?
Oh, good God.
Yeah, so I moved and lost my podcast equipment, but by next week it'll all be okay. That's out of the way. If you can't stand to listen to us like this, fear not. In the future, I'll be able to update this file with something a lot more clear. It'll be the same exact episode, but it'll sound better. So,
yay!
So we got a big announcement to make before we get into anything else. My brother Nick, would you do the honors?
Oh, gladly. So here at Dirt Sheet Radio, we are going to have our first ever guest. Joining us will be from the Nightmare Factory, being trained by QT Marshall, Cody Rhodes, and Glacier. We have Rekka Tahaka. So that's going to be quite exciting for us. That'll be coming soon to a podcast near you.
It's going to be awesome. We're going to be recording that this week. It's going to be good shit.
Is she known as the Rekka of shit?
She's wrecking shit. She came to wreck your Tahaka.
That's good shit.
Did I say that right?
Rekka Tahaka.
So, Nick, you had to sit through Raw so that I didn't have to sit through Raw. Give me the good and the bad, man.
So there's not really any good. It's all bad, as usual. As is Raw. So, boys, this is that moment where, again, I do the slow motion jump. I go, and I take the bullet so you guys didn't have to.
Thank you, Neil.
Always. Yes. So, all right, boys, it's time to suffer. So, kick this off. There's going to be a tag team match opening with Braun and Drew versus T-Bar and Mace, but then we get that obligatory Raw handicap match. So, match number 1 became a handicap match with Braun versus T-Bar and Mace. Something of note here is that they're still calling them T-Bar and Mace because it's totally not Dominic Dijakovic and Dio Madden.
But they don't have masks anymore, right?
Exactly. No. And Dijakovic's wearing a new attire as well.
So is it like a rib? Is this a rib on them? It's a fucking joke?
It seems like
Am I a joke to you?
So we get that big beat down. Drew comes out, makes the save. And then that's even despite Drew coming out to save Braun, they agreed before the match even happened that they weren't going to help each other. And then it becomes the tag match it was originally supposed to be. So again, it's a mess. What can I say? That's how Raw is lately. And it was a big count-out victory for Retribution Light.
Is that so? They're basically still acting like Retribution. They just don't have the masks on.
Yeah, they don't have the masks, and Mia Yim and Shane Thorne aren't in the group anymore.
Okay, move the fuck on from that bullshit.
So yeah, it's okay because that's not all we get to see of them tonight. But we're gonna get to that because everyone loves T-Bar and Mace.
So this is fucked up. This is one of the fucked up WWE fever dream situations they always put you in. If you're a fan of the Indies and you watch Donovan Dijak and you're like, man, I can't wait to see that guy on the main storyline of a WWE TV show. It's fucking amazing. He's so talented. He deserves it, and it's happening. Technically, he's on. It's fucked up. You can't even appreciate that shit. It'll call you a hypocrite. They'll be like, but you wanted Donovan Dijak to take off his mask and be in the main storylines. But like, you gotta know, you have to know, like, it wasn't this. It's
still shit. It's still T-Bar. He's just maskless.
What the fuck?
Trust me, we say what the fuck everything here. So then we move into match number 3, which was Damian Priest and the New Day versus The Miz, Jackson Ryker, and Elias, with Jomo in their corner. I wrote my pre-match prediction for this, and I have Since Riker is in the ring and not Morrison, that means he's the one taking the pin. And guess what? I was right. So another messy match. And with all this random chaos, the camera was often so slow that it couldn't catch these things. And there was some botches here and there. And it was such a hard match to watch. But it ends with Consequences Creed rolling up Gunner to win.
Okay, see, I was going to jump in at some point to ask, did Riker take the pin from the black guy?
Oh, of course. they got to rectify that.
That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted out of that segment.
That's all any of us want. It's okay. He'll get the rematch, and then Kofi's going to pin him.
Where are AJ Styles and Omos?
The Raw Tag Champs, nowhere to be found.
Since they won the belts, right?
Yeah, they're gone. R-Truth's been gone.
We sat here and we talked about how Omos was over with the children. And wow, this
with the chillins.
He can be baby face, and him and AJ Styles, they can make so much money, and they can be stars in a little group. And they've been gone for what, 3 fucking weeks, 2 weeks.
We haven't even seen them after Mania.
What the fuck?
They have not been on. They have not been on TV since they won the belts.
I don't think so.
Amazing.
I would hate to imagine that almost got in the ring for 30 seconds and injured something. Fuck. Not that it's funny that he's injured, but it's a fucked up situation. I laugh at fucked up things.
Yeah, but absolutely nothing has come from that. And speaking of stuff with nothing really coming from it, match number 4, we have Sheamus coming out, and this is him wanting to host yet another open challenge. But this one, he says, fella, no open match for the title. So now it becomes just a regular match. So it's like, all right. And then, all right, so he took on Humberto last week, and guess who comes out? Humberto Carrillo. So
he said, "Do you like dogs?"
I feel like the open challenge used to be a thing I would be really excited for, and then every single wrestling company in existence fucking ran it into the ground.
Yeah. I love the days when we had the John Cena U.S. title open challenge, and it was helping to show off what some of the younger guys were able to do, or the guys that didn't really get much spotlight in WWE, the main event roster, the Superstars roster.
It made sense when John Cena did it, because the purpose is I'm John fucking Cena, and I'm gonna hold this secondary title and get matches out of this all young talent. When any fucking secondary champion just does open challenges because we can't think of shit for you right now, it really sucks the fun out of the whole gimmick.
It does, and it's kind of how it is here. It's really just, oh yeah, Sheamus is that Irish brawler, so he'll fight anyone and everyone. But in this situation, Humberto comes out and he has a big fight, like an actual fight with Sheamus, and Humberto looked really intense, and it was nice seeing him for a change instead of getting yeeted across the locker room again. Being able to actually put on some, real good looks and fighting and whatnot in here. But I love a good open
lucha
challenge
thing?
Personally. Some lucha things, as
a good
our
lucha
friend
thing.
Kalisto. But it was a good open challenge. But it's the same guys in the obligatory rematch. But nothing really transpired from this. It was more or less just Humberto getting some intensity in there, so he looks credible for the probable championship match at WrestleMania Backlash.
Yay.
I get why they did it, right? Because why they named Backlash, WrestleMania Backlash. New subscribers. I'm sure NBC was like, it makes sense. That's a mouthful. That doesn't if you just look at the way brands work and advertising works, WrestleMania Backlash. How many fucking syllables is that? 100? What the fuck?
You know what's funny? They didn't actually update some of the promo imagery, so sometimes it still said Backlash instead of WrestleMania Backlash. especially in the video transitions.
They just stuck the old logo on top of it.
Yeah.
I can't wait till WrestleMania SummerSlam.
WrestleMania SummerSlam this August.
Bring back WrestleMania Armageddon.
WrestleMania Survivor Series.
Oh Jesus!
I can't wait for WrestleMania Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Leading us to the main event of WrestleMania.
Yes.
But we started having. Go ahead.
I was like WrestleMania twice just sounds like it becomes something completely different, like WrestleGanza.
It's what Vince wants instead of the numbers to just say WrestleMania again.
WrestleMania, don't you get it?
So nice we named it twice. God damn it. But yeah, so we go into match number 5. So they're building up a new team, a new tandem. We have Matt Riddle and Randy Orton taking on Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander. So we have the potential rising team of RK Bro. And, you know, I have a guilty pleasure here. I like odd couple tag teams. Personally speaking, I wish it was not at all at the expense of Cedric and Shelton yet again, but that happens. Nevertheless, Riddle and Orton are actually a pretty good team together. You know, I'm excited to see them team up in the future, to be honest.
That's it's really strange, but fucking, I definitely didn't expect to hear you say that. I was like, didn't they fucking wrestle last week? What's this story? Like, Matt Riddle got the win last week, and then
I assume they just both got high.
It was I think it was like one of those things where Randy Orton's like, you're one of the few people that's beaten me. I have a level of respect for you, and I called in a favor, and we're gonna have a tag match later, and maybe we can make something of this.
You called in a favor, and that was the best you could do?
I guess.
Here's hoping there's a good story behind this shit, because Orton just spent the last 6 months playing with a fucking little girl on fire, flames, and it all ended
like structure.
It all ended in smoke, garbage. So I guess I was gonna complain, but what the fuck is the point? It's not like it's any worse than what he's already been through. So we'll give it a chance.
Listen, it wasn't that long ago when we were talking about how Randy murdered a man.
RK Bro. Again, me and Nick like went through the whole thing. It's mind-boggling. Randy Orton, the heel, burned this babyface Bray Wyatt alive and killed him. And Bray Wyatt, the babyface, crawls his way through hell to get his revenge on Randy Orton. And this whole how many fucking months of story was that? And it just, poof. All right, on to the next one.
It ends with an RKO.
It ends with less than, it ends with garbage.
You know, last year, Randy Orton was lighting up Bray Wyatt. This year, he's lighting up joints with Matt Riddle.
Like I said, RK Pro, give it a fucking chance. I'll give it a fucking chance, because it can't be any worse than what we just had.
It gives him something to do, so we'll see where that goes. You know, rated RKO worked, but that was Edge and Orton, so, you know, maybe Matt Riddle can benefit in some way from this.
Next.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
Yeah, getting through there. Speaking of fuck that shit, match number 6. Asuka, Naomi, and Lana take on Rhea Ripley, Nia Jax, and Shayna Baszler.
Oh, boy.
This is yet another big, messy match. We had the casual Nia Jax messing up and slipping and falling spot, because that's what we get these last couple weeks.
Is it?
Pretty much. That's been her gimmick lately. Is she made fun of Mandy Rose for slipping at WrestleMania, and now her thing is there's always something that makes her slip. So Dana and Mandy came out, and they threw like a bucket of water on the ring mat, and Nia chased after them and then slipped on the water.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Kill me, man. Fuck you.
This is literally, if not tomorrow, this at the end of the week, we're gonna forget all about this match. So moving on, match number 7, Charlotte Flair miraculously makes her comeback. Sonya Deville got her to come in, apologize to the refs, and then wanted the refs to apologize to her, and then has a match against Mandy Rose. Literally nothing of note, really just a match that makes Charlotte get a win. And that's all that was.
Make her look good, kid.
All right, so last week Charlotte got suspended or whatever, and she's back because Sonya had like power like Adam Pearce.
Something like that. So basically, before one of the commercial breaks, it shows Sonya going to one of the doors and opening it up so Charlotte can walk in, and then we move into that segment after commercial break.
See, now people ask like, okay, are they gonna just recap? Before I talk shit about what the fuck is happening, I want to understand. Maybe there's something I'm missing, because sometimes these things sound a little stupid. Maybe I'm missing a detail. And then when I find out that I'm not missing any details and it sounds just as stupid, I can properly shit on it.
Sonya has the power, apparently, to overturn this big suspension, so whatever.
Fuck it, I'm not even going to waste my time on it. We'll move on.
Next!
All right, and then... Lads, we finally made it to the main event.
Yay!
Drew McIntyre versus Braun Strowman. Are you sure about that? So if the story going in is if Braun Strowman wins this match, WrestleMania Backlash, the main event will be a triple threat now. So this is where we get our quota for our weekly
Isn't that
brawl.
just the main event of WrestleMania?
We gotta always have a triple threat. You know, it's got WrestleMania in the title. We gotta have the triple threat. So we had interference from Lashley and MVP, and at that point, Drew managed to get the upper hand. While Drew was going for the Claymore, all of a sudden Dio and Dijakovic ran in out of nowhere, and then Drew beats them up. And in the distraction, Strowman hits his finisher, pins McIntyre. Now it's a triple threat at Backlash. Drew literally no-sells it, gets up just for a last-minute standoff between Strowman, Lashley, and McIntyre. Raw ends.
The fucking distraction, the distraction finish again. I want someone. I don't have the time or the patience or the interest, but I'd love to see a finished product with someone counting how many times WWE does this shit. The distraction finishes to end the show.
I think there's a supercut somewhere.
And it's always the same spot. One guy runs up, boom, go down fast. The next guy runs up, boom, go down fast, turn around.
It's confusing too, because the thing I was going to throw out there is the fact that aren't Dijakovic and Dio working with MVP in some way? So they just ended up making Bobby Lashley's match harder.
Yeah, because I got to see the last couple minutes. I saw Bobby Lashley trying to get involved to stop Braun Strowman from being in the match. And then I guess Dijakovic, or I guess T-Bar and Mace fucked it up. So now next week they'll get in trouble with Lashley and fall back to the bottom of the card or whatever.
In typical Raw fashion, this episode was very much a mess.
This is dumb. That is just dumb.
Who booked this shit? And that is the Raw report for the week.
I mean, I'm like I said, I'm glad I didn't have to watch it. Have you been watching SmackDown or anything? Or do you regularly watch SmackDown?
I keep up with it here and there, but you know it's hard to keep up with all of that, especially when I'm already suffering from 3 hours of Raw earlier in the week.
Personally, I've been watching for so many years, and for so many years, SmackDown was like the show that in the beginning it was great, and then for a lot of years it was like that's entirely skippable. So it's been hard to get back into the groove, and it's like reversed now too. So even when I catch WWE weekly TV, inspiringly like I do, it's usually on a Monday night because that's the habit. It's weird that they would. And wrestling fans, it's like, no, wrestling fans are creatures of habit. They always tune in on the same nights. That's why wrestling shows are always trying to hit the same nights. So it's fucking crazy that they would just allow the Monday night show, like the habitual wrestling night. They would just allow that shit to rot away.
Dip that quality. Power bomb it through a table.
That shit's crazy. I gotta fuck this USA just allow this shit. I gotta imagine they don't know wrestling, so they're like, this shit sucks, but I always think it sucks. 2 million people are still tuning in. What the fuck does it matter?
All they care about is the numbers, as long as it's, relatively consistent and bigger than a lot of the other programming during that hour, that's what matters.
It's fucking depressing is what it is. I don't even know.
We don't have that quality anymore, but by that same token, they're generating whatever numbers they need.
And all the money in the fucking world. They had their financials last week, and they're making a fuck ton of money because they don't have to run anywhere. They're saving money on buildings because they do Thunderdome every night.
Good thing they don't have to release any talent. Oh, wait a minute.
Ha!
Oh, man. Let's talk about that shit then. We were off last week, but as we were off, you might have heard if you're listening to this.
It turned out a lot of people were off last week.
Yes, it's true.
What, 11 wrestlers?
I think it was around 10.
One of them, Mickie James, receives her fucking belongings. Because I guess the way it works is, wrestlers, especially, the girls, they leave like belongings in the locker room so they don't gotta carry that shit back and forth, makeup or whatever the fuck heavy, stupid shit you want to leave there. Mickey James received all her shit in a fucking garbage bag in the mail. And she posted it on Twitter. Like, what the fuck? That's appropriate for how you people treated me all these years. And of course, this is happening on the day of the financials we just talked about. So WWE's like, embarrassed.
On the year anniversary of the last COVID cuts as well.
On the 1 year anniversary of the fucking cuts that they made in the middle of the pandemic, were not fucking ethical at all. I'll just come out and say that. I don't. But fuck, it was bad. Triple H and Stephanie both came out and tweeted the same exact statement from both accounts at Mickey James. We're sincerely apologizing or whatever fucking corporate bullshit. They tweeted it. Turns out,
didn't we find out from Gail Kim that this has been happening for years?
It's happening for years. It's like I don't even get surprised anymore. Shit like this, people imagine WWE like this big fucking corporate conglomerate. So this type of shit doesn't happen. But we've been hearing these stories about mistreatment for years. It's a big business, but it's still run for the most part, it's run like a mom and pop shop. The motherfucking old man is Marc Carano.
I was gonna say like a carny circus.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. It's the carny business.
It is. It's just dressed in corporate buildings and suits but look at the dude in the suit. It's fucking Triple H. It's it's so odd. He's in the suit and he's giving all the corporate bullshit, but it's still the same carny, conniving, backstabbing professional wrestler that Triple H is known to be.
Golden Shovel, Reign of Terror.
The guy who was in the car with DX talking about, I'm gonna run this place someday.
I'm not even talking about it in his gimmick. I'm talking about it in real life. You heard this?
Oh no, I'm talking about him. He's talking a story about when Hunter was when they're on the road in the car, and he was talking about how he was gonna run that place someday.
And here he is. But so yeah, they end up firing a bunch of scapegoats. Marc Carano, the dude whose name everybody knew because he was on Total Divas, but he's also
dickhead.
His dick, apparently, he looked like a dick on the show, but you can never tell because it's a reality show and they've made to fucking make people look a certain way because they're characters. You make them say something and then edit it and they look like a piece of shit. But it turns out he's a piece of shit. They fired
some reality turns out to be reality.
They fired Carano. They fired a bunch of other executives, but apparently it came out that those people were going to be fired anyway. But they fired that referee John Cone, who was the senior director of talent relations. But it's they cut too far with the scapegoat because then wrestlers started to speak out wait, you got the wrong one. We actually like that guy. So they gave him his job.
It's no, he was the good one.
Wait.
Please stop.
So it was a fucking mess. It was a slaughter afterwards. But if you look a little closely at what's been going on behind the scenes of WWE and the corporate side, Vince is pretty much done. He's fucking as crazy as it is to imagine.
Done with caring.
No, he's old. He can't.
Yeah.
Possibly fucking keep this up. It doesn't matter how stubborn he is. Age is real. Time is coming to get him. Did you see him at WrestleMania?
Yeah, briefly.
The thing too, in their corporate report too, they were talking about how they have all these people and all these different roles that are coming in to pretty much, if that time does come anytime in the near future, if Vince was to pass away or retire, they have all kinds of different people to take on different roles because there's that many people that need to step in because he literally does everything for them.
And the time is here. This guy, Nick Khan, he got hired to be their president recently, and he's just been chopping heads left and right. He is here to clean this shit up. He's here to fucking. If some people think he's cleaning it up in preparation to sell, I'm no fucking way. But it's just interesting to see the regime change happening right before our eyes, and not many people realize that it's happening, but it is.
Get that Disney money.
The time is coming. I don't know if they're gonna say. I don't think they'll. I don't think so. But the time
Oh, that's good shit.
this guy Nick Khan, Stephanie McMahon, and to a lesser extent Triple H, it's their time now. At the corporate at the financials we talked about earlier, fucking Vince doesn't even talk in these calls anymore. As far as I know, they say he was the person you would speak to on these phone calls as recently as a year ago, 2 years ago. But it's over for that. He doesn't speak. It's all Nick Khan and it's all Stephanie.
Yeah, I think a lot of times for the attending stuff too, he has a proxy go.
Yeah, you hear stories now about how he's not at SmackDown, he's not at Raw. It's like fucking that used to be impossible. The time is here, man. It's fucked up. I mean, people are like, yeah,
something about it being Stephanie instead just scares me more.
You think?
Honestly.
I think she'll be able to fucking channel her father very well.
I think that's the problem.
I feel like but she's also got like other people that she listens to, right? I don't think Vince.
Oh,
really? They kind of cycle in and out. There's a Bruce Pritchard, there's a Pat Patterson, there's a Kevin Dunn, but like,
well, not anymore.
You don't know. They can call in the medium.
And like, I don't think we want anybody listening to Kevin Dunn.
I don't know, man.
Do you think Kevin Dunn turns his head every few seconds when he says a word?
I have to, so he doesn't cut his fucking lip. No, I don't know that it's gonna be like an instant change the way people think. Like Vince is leaving the WWE. He's fucking it. Next Monday is gonna be awesome.
That's not gonna happen.
Like it's gonna be a lot of the same. The transition is happening now. Whatever it is you're gonna expect from the WWE post Vince, you might be looking at it.
And you know the thing is that like Hunter gained all that goodwill from all those years of NXT, and that's gone anyway.
Took it away out of spite. I guess speaking of NXT, before I fucking get back to the format, because speaking of NXT, the fucking rumor was they moved to Tuesdays because the NHL is coming to USA on Wednesday and NXT can't be there. Fucking everybody got screwed. And the media picked up NHL. And it became like AEW's problem now. So like, I was like, oh shit, what the fuck is happening? Nobody knows like exactly what Warner Media is going to do with the NHL, but TNT generally is where they air their live sports. You'd imagine if they were going to fucking air Wednesday NHL games, they could be airing on TNT. So we'll see what the fuck comes of that. I figured I should mention that to our friends out there can pay attention. What's on that sheet, son? I don't have it in front of me.
Let's see. We had. What we got going on here?
Kenny Thanos.
Yes.
Oh shit! Rebellion was this past weekend.
Yes, it was.
I did watch it. There was some stuff I didn't pay attention to, but I don't want to shit on anybody, right? Because I don't watch Impact regularly, so I didn't have emotional attachment to some of the stuff that other people might have liked. So I'm not gonna be like, yeah.
You were into the second generational debut of Rachel Ellering.
Oh no! Did you watch that?
No, I didn't see the review.
I'm sorry. No, the reason why
Rachel Ellering won't be our guest now.
Oh, hey! Now that you say that, I get on Twitter the other day. I get a link.
I know. I think I know where this is going.
And I'm like, it's from Nick Aldis. I think he's talking to Andrade or whatever. And I clicked the link, and he has me blocked. I've never tweeted this man in my life. I've never fucking I've never tweeted about him. I've never said his name on Twitter. I've never added him. I've never added the NWA, TNA, WWE. I couldn't possibly imagine. I was racking my brain trying to figure out what the fuck could Nick Aldis possibly have against me. And then I realized I shat on Nick Aldis here on this very show. It's the only place I've ever publicly said anything negative about Nick Aldis. And it wasn't even personal. It wasn't like Nick Aldis fucking breath stinks or whatever the fuck. It was like he bores me, but like he does. I don't give a fuck if he's offended by it. He's fucking boring to me. He's a big, slow goof, and I fucking hate watching him wrestle. Like, he's the one person I've ever seen in my life who got carried to a good match by Cody fucking Rhodes. So I don't want to hear shit about how Nick Aldis is offended. I just felt like I should address the fact that he probably heard me, and if he hears me again, I don't apologize for saying that I think he sucks in the ring. I don't apologize. I think that we've said it on the podcast before. You're a fucking wrestler. Get some thick skin. Stop getting on Twitter and vanity searching yourself, you fucking weirdos.
By the way, Nick Aldis, thanks for listening.
Yeah. All right, now I've got that out of the way.
I feel like we end up like those people who get clip policed to fucking Jim Cornette or something.
They'll put us on Twitter and cancel me. They don't even know who the fuck I am. But they can find you apparently and block you. So fucking Valiant. No, what I did pay attention to was good. The main event is what we're here to talk about, though. That's what I came to watch. It was Kenny Omega versus Rich Swann. The title versus title TNA belt.
I thought it was the Good Brothers versus Finjuice.
I thought Finjuice was gonna lose the belts if that's anything. They didn't. So it's interesting to see they'll be sticking around. But the fucking main event, I don't know. I expected a little more, but if you saw the match, you'll probably know what I'm talking about. If you didn't, let me explain it. The match started off the way you can imagine Kenny Omega versus Rich Swann would start off. They're going for beat triggers and missing and flipping and fuck. Whatever the fuck happens. Halfway through, Rich Swann is fucking dead. I don't know if he hit his head, and maybe I missed it. Maybe somebody who's listening will point it out. Yeah, he knocked his fucking head. From what I heard,
you got a boo-boo.
Kenny Omega, from what I saw, Kenny fucking dragged. He literally had to take this dead man. He wasn't like unconscious, but he was like tired. He was fucking slow. He was gassed. I don't know what the fuck happened, but he
he fucking dead.
He fucking died halfway through. And Kenny literally dragged this man to a.
Oddly enough, you know what you reminded me of? Do you remember when Kenny genuinely knocked out Evil with a V-trigger?
Yes.
And he had the shoot lift him up for that one winged angel.
But did you imagine putting 300 dead pounds on your neck like that? So he legitimately takes Rich Swann's dead body to a 3.5 star match. But I was just like, fuck. That was really disappointing. I bet Moose would have done a lot better in this situation. In the end, the result was what everybody thought it would be. Not that it should have been anything else. I don't believe Rich Swann should have beat Kenny Omega on this night. Like it didn't make sense for that to happen. Something I said to a friend of mine off the air was that I sometimes wish wrestling would commit to story more than like the idea that Rich Swann can't beat Kenny Omega or whatever. Like in the story, Tony Khan got screwed out of his belt by Kenny Omega, and Tony Khan sitting here in the front row, and I'm like, you know what? It wouldn't be out of line if he took his opportunity to screw Rich Swann or whatever. But it didn't happen. Whatever. I mean, to screw Kenny Omega out of his title and fucking bring Rich Swann in. But then Rich Swann shot the bed, so I'm like. Glad we didn't go in that direction.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kenny Omega's king of the fucking world now. I guess he's carrying all the belts. He's going
Another
to all
one.
the fucking airports with all these fucking belts in his bag. That's got to be an asshole. I know a lot of people don't think about that.
Oh yeah.
He really carries those 4 fucking belts around from home to arena.
Motherfuckers are heavy.
I'm not signing up for that job. I'm too lazy. 4 belts. Get the fuck out of here.
Check that.
There's been a lot of what is either company gaining from this? And I couldn't even tell you. Honestly, I don't fucking know. If I'm looking from the outside, from an outsider's perspective, I don't see what the fuck either company can gain from this. But I don't. Also,
I mean, I guess the gains and impact would be obvious on paper.
that they get the more attention, but at the same time, you just buried your fucking world champion. Like Kenny shat on a dude and made him look like shit for the whole time he was in Impact, and then just like beat his ass.
It was basically a squash.
They squashed him over the period of 3 months. It was a 3-month long squash, and it's like there's gonna be a time where this ends, and you're left with what you're left with, and Kenny Omega might have been pissed all over it. So like I can see where people are concerned, but I'm also not privy to what the fuck they're all looking to get from this. It might be exactly what they want out of it. All I know is that it doesn't bother me while I'm watching it, so I don't care. Like, I don't give a fuck. It's not my business. I'm just here to watch the noodlehead man win the shiny belts. I'm here to fucking enjoy.
The noodlehead man win the shiny belts.
Okay.
Poetic.
That's the way to describe it, in my opinion.
So I'm interested in seeing Kenny Omega show up on Dynamite with all these fucking different companies' titles and seeing where the fuck it goes next.
Go full Ultimo Dragon.
We've seen like in history, like wrestlers fucking holding two promotions world championships, but it's always been in history. I never got to see it happen while I was watching. So like, this is fun. I mean,
Oh, you weren't around for the Kojima incident?
I wasn't watching. I was fucking much like
I wasn't. I was at the time.
Much like the rest of the. Remember, I told you guys I fucking started by branching out in like 2005. By the time I discovered Japanese wrestling, it was like the Dragon Gate stuff that they showed me in Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
When I discovered New Japan, and they're still in the Dark Ages, and I'm like, I don't know if I like this stuff. Come back a couple years later, they were great, and then the year after that, they became the hottest thing on the planet. And then as cycles go, they're here today.
If I may introduce it in a brief aside, because I think it's an interesting story. Basically, they set up a thing where Satoshi Kojima had just toppled Toshiaki Kawada as like the Triple Crown champion. Huge deal, right? Yeah. Hideyoshi Tenzan comes out and challenges him, his former tag partner in the other company, who is the champion of that company. Cool. Big match, right? Supposedly the plan is they go 60 minutes. Kojima and Tenzan go 60 minutes, draw, both champions leave with their belts. 58 minutes in, Tenzan's back gives out. Complete lumbar failure.
Legit.
And the referee has to count the man out because this is a goddamn sport.
This is the way I like to see wrestling treated, though.
Yeah. This is a goddamn sport. So the referee has to count him out, and at some point, like, Kojima starts panicking and starts trying to forcefully lift up Tenzan and can't do it. You just see the bell ring, and he's just like, holy shit, this just happened.
You gotta understand, like, this is All Japan and New Japan Pro Wrestling. These are the two gods of Japanese wrestling. The politics here don't allow for someone to hold these belts. You understand? This is not something that should be happening. Nobody wants this to happen either. This is not the historic thing that we.
No, this is supposed to be a cute draw, and we go home, and everyone's happy. We all made money.
We fucked up, and now this guy's got the 2 top championships in Japanese pro wrestling. What the fuck?
Still the only man I think to ever do it.
That's always a fun story to fucking hear. But this Kenny Omega shit has obviously worked. and I mean,
no, Omega stole the belt. Clearly,
I don't have a clue where this shit is going. I don't even know what fucking story they're telling right now. As far as I can gather, Kenny Omega took the AEW championship and decided that he's gonna run around the world with it and collect other belts, and nobody can stop him.
While still collecting AEW checks.
I'm gonna get paid because I've got this belt and I'm defending it. And
also because I'm an executive.
Because I'm an executive.
No suspensions, no punishment, nothing. Just pay.
No board of directors.
Paid me, and he keeps winning. I guess within kayfabe, he keeps on defending the belt. But I guess what happens if he loses it in the wrong country or whatever, right? I mean, this is in story, right?
I think because in story 2 they said how he still makes all his AEW related appearances and still wrestles when they need him to. So that's how they kind of, I guess, let that slide.
I'm interested in seeing where it goes. There's multiple ways I would like to see a story like this one. I don't know about end, but at least come to a fucking climax. You know, like lots of different ways. But I don't know if this place, if AEW is really. Don't get me wrong. As much as everybody knows, I fucking enjoy watching Dynamite every single week. There hasn't been a week. This week not has been. There's never been a week that I was like, man, that sucked. But I don't know if I'm so trust if I trust the fucking creative process so much that I'm like, this is going to end amazingly. I really don't know where this is going. It's both exciting and terrifying.
I feel like you never should trust that process that much.
Anywhere. Anywhere. But fuck yeah, I'm interested in seeing where Kenny fucking goes to gather another fucking stone for the Infinity Gauntlet. He's got. They teased Will Ospreay versus Kenny Omega on Instagram, but that's just 2 dudes talking shit with each other. I know people like that.
As usual.
Oh my God, Will Ospreay was in Kenny Omega comments because that's how New Japan would want to start their big. No. As fun as it would be, I don't even see the fuck. I know everybody thinks like it's gonna end up. That's where it's gonna end up. That's not within the possibilities that I was talking about earlier. I don't even see him collecting the IWGP belt. There's some fucking stuff there that if you want to look deeply, like maybe like the fact that they changed the design of the belt and it's got wings and they made it a point to be like, our belt is gonna fly around the world. Go places now. It's like, well, where's your belt going? But I don't think that's gonna happen. That's just
so kind of redundant, but yeah.
It's got wings now. Fuck, it's got wings, bro. It's free. It's freedom.
That's not the Winged Eagle belt. What the hell?
Jesus.
What? What else are we supposed to talk about here tonight?
We're supposed to talk about the rules and the sanctions of AEW Blood and Guts. The one-match show for all of your souls.
Yeah, it's a one-match show. Which, I mean, there's been some in our lifetimes that we've seen. Remember, Ring of Honor used to do those 1-hour fucking matches on their TV all the time, but nobody watched Ring of Honor TV even when it was good. Legit.
No, that's fine. I have nothing against like a 1-hour episodic show where it's one match, as long as the match is good.
This is 2 hours though. This is weird. I've never seen like. I wasn't alive in the fucking 80s for the Ric Flair 1 hour or specials or whatever. But even those were all 1 hour. This is 2 hours. So like an hour of fucking promos and videos.
Hold up. Yeah.
I sneezed, my fucking eyeballs are gonna pop out. Vince McMahon would hate me if I sneezed.
Your time has come, John. You're fired.
Blood and Guts. It's here. It was supposed to happen last year. COVID was like, suck my dick. It's not happening. And then people in Newark waited, and then they found No, I'm sorry. You're not getting it. It's gonna happen on May 5th in the Daly's place, which apparently is now open to full capacity, but AEW won't be taking advantage of that. They will be bringing in about 2,500 people. That's still a lot of noise in that weird little arena that they have there. It's gonna be 2 rings, a big ass cage. It's War Games, but it's original War Games. That's the gimmick here.
The match beyond.
They can't say that. But
It's basically War Games.
But that's what it is. It's War Games, but it's the real one. It's gonna have a cage.
Wait, maybe that means it's the War Chamber, you guys.
I don't.
The War Chamber.
The War Chamber.
You shouldn't use the word chamber.
Elimination games.
No, that's what MLW calls it.
Is that what they got it when WWE bought the rights back?
Yeah, now it's the War Chamber.
Does MLW have the cage on top too?
I believe I'd have to recheck. I believe they do though.
I think so.
Because I remember one of the biggest things about War Games is like people. I would be like, wow, let's see how they fucking hit the top of the roof by accident today. You go for power bombs, you almost dropping people on the neck. The roof was a hindrance. Like, it's almost going backwards to put that shit back on it. But yeah, so there's gonna be, since it's the original War Games, there'll be no pinfalls. It's gotta be submissions or surrender by mouth. It's the fucking Inner Circle versus the Pinnacle. So I mean, the promo work has been great. Jericho unleashed some heat the other week, and then last week it was like, it's all right, back to cruise control.
Back to old man Jericho.
It's all right. It's all right. You can tell like this is like him trying to go like tit for tat with this young MJF who can come off the top of the head or whatever the fucking camera. And Jericho is still like good at it, but he realized like he's lost a step. This guy is actually fucking better than him.
Just catering to him.
Yeah. But it's been fucking interesting. It's been fun. It wasn't. I don't know. It felt unearned. It felt like it came kind of fast.
Right.
But they were just like, fuck that. You got problems with me? War Games. Blood and Guts. I'll fucking kill you in the cage now. Well, fuck it. It's a street fight. It's being built as like a gang warfare thing. All the promos have like them in the streets together or whatever, holding baseball. I don't know.
Okay, so the first MLW War Games was the double ring cage with no roof. The War Chamber was like the one ring because they had a smaller building in Texas, but like the top of the cage had barbed wire.
That sounds interesting. I'm always into the gimmicks. I love it. I love the weird shit.
But appreciate too in the poster that AEW did for Blood and Guts, they recreated the War Games Bash '87, and they had Tully Blanchard in the same spot. Yeah, and Tully Blanchard's in the same spot for both of them.
I have to find this.
It's AEW's man never made an attempt to hide the fact that they take inspiration from the old school WCW, right? And I've grown to almost appreciate it. I'm almost mad that they haven't figured out how to get that good ring bump sound. Did WWE trademark that too? Like, can we figure that out? Like, fuck it, take it all away.
You have to get the old ECW ring mic where it's like everything sounds like a freaking explosion went off.
No, but see, it's the WCW ring that has that satisfying. I can't describe it.
It has a good crunch to it. That's the thing.
It's a good sound.
I guess, yeah. I remember rewatching those ECW pay-per-views and just like every bump sounds amazing.
That's different though. That's a whole different type of sound. It's like wow, and it's like a nice flat. If the wrestlers did it, what they're doing, it's like a nice flat pow. But the WCW ring sounds like a muffled, almost. I can't explain it. You go out there and fucking listen. Just listen to one, whatever. You fucking YouTube a clip. You're gonna jerk off to that shit.
That's disturbing.
So the fucking show is gonna be Blood and Guts, 1 hour, 2 hour event, and I'm fucking psyched. I want to see this shit. I want to see blood and preferably no guts, but I'm down either way. Fuck it, you figure out how to make it work.
Live murder on camera.
Take me to the next segment, my brothers. Take me, carry me.
Plant-based Kenny, it's coming.
Oh god.
For some particular reason, John specifically wanted to talk about Tay Conti versus Hikaru Shida.
Go take it, King.
I fucking love. Again, me and Greg, we talked about this very early on with Tay Conti. Oh wow, this is interesting. Look at this legit black belt. I can't wait to see where she goes. And then 3 years in WWE Performance Center and nothing happened. So it's like finally, I've watched this fucking seed. I've tried to watch the seed grow into a flower for so long, and it's just like I know there's a beautiful wrestling flower in here. I just know it. You people would just water it. Please feed this flower, please. And I felt like on Wednesday, I finally the battles finally started coming up. It was beautiful. I was like, look at this wrestler. Like, look at you. You did it. I knew you fucking did. I knew that the environment around you was bad for you. And I just, and you say things like that, and people are like, well, they just don't like WWE. No, man, she wasn't learning shit there. Nobody does. The Performance Center is the fucking worst. Unless you're somebody's daughter, or unless you're 8 feet fucking tall, nobody learns shit there. So I was like, this Wednesday watching Tay Conti.
I mean, look at the incredible like strides that Juice Robinson made after 1 year in Japan.
Seriously, I know people are like, well, anybody who goes to Japan is gonna come back better. Tell that to Yoshitatsu. Fuck? No, it doesn't work that way.
That's unfair.
Yoshitatsu is an iconic legend, sir. He won the 26-man Battle Royal at WrestleMania 26.
He also had all the belts.
I'm just saying. No, don't let me get blocked by Yoshitatsu, man, and he's searching himself on Twitter now. I'm just saying.
He is the bullet hunter.
The fucking Performance Center is not built for it. I feel like it works best when you come into it traveled, well traveled, and then you can hone your television skills there if you want. Look at this camera. Look at that camera. Pose this way. Whatever the fuck you want to learn it. But to go in there to try to become a wrestler straight off it's never gonna happen. So fuck yeah, I wanted to talk about Tay Conti versus Shida because it was like look at this. Exhibit A. Wow. Look at look at her go. I can't wait to see more. I knew it was too early to give her a title, but I was at the point where I was like, fuck it. But naturally it wasn't time. Shida has held that belt down for fucking ever, and I guess it makes sense that if she was gonna lose to anybody, it was gonna be Britt Baker. She's the one who's been being built up under this women's champion. Sure. Baker's been booked better than Shida. Shida's been booked as a fighting champion, right? She's super Shida. It's some people don't like it. I think it's fucking fine. She's coming out here and she's beating bitches' asses, and the matches are hard fought, and sometimes she.
I was gonna say, the match is good. What's there not to like?
Yeah, I was gonna say the matches are hard fought, and she squeaks out the win in the end. Sometimes it's not even like she's dominating these bitches. Sometimes it's like this close, like damn, she could have lost. So like, but American wrestling fans, they like that fucking character shit, and they like to hear people talk and explain what they're gonna do next. So Britt Baker's got all the attention now, and Shida's coming in as like the champion who looks like she's gonna lose. It'd be interesting if she just won anyway. People would be like, oh no, she's like John Cena now.
What does that even mean?
But yeah, I got that out of my system. What the fuck?
Oh, because I guess these people were just so clamoring to see freaking Freddie Mercury chick win or something. I don't know.
No, I think the only time I thought, no, I don't think there was ever a time I thought she should have lost. Did she? Maybe there was a match with Thunder Rosa that I was like, yeah, that might be it. But it was never like this is time. I might be feeling that now. Great with Brit, but
I mean, and that's all based on the idea that, like, yeah, sure, Thunder Rosa is credible, but also at the end of the day, like, Thunder Rosa isn't theirs to use. So
I thought she was gonna be done after the Baker feud, but it's like no, they were done with each other, and now they're gonna build their stats separately.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that Thunder Rosa has stuck around as long as she has, and that they're giving her all that push that they're giving her right now.
Push harder than 82% of the women on the fucking roster.
Exactly. Like she's probably one of their top stars now, and she doesn't actually truly work for them.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts. She goes.
But I'm also convinced that has a lot to do with the idea that she's trying to put her own gimmick together, and there's likely a deal there where they all, trade talent for quite some time.
Yeah, Tony Khan and Billy Corgan are apparently like friends from before this stuff.
Well, not just Corgan though, but like the Thunder Rosa's Mission Pro Wrestling project.
Oh yeah. Those kids are all over AEW Dark now.
Yeah.
All of them. You can tell. Some of them are better than others.
that tends to be how it works out. Yes. Listen, John. We sat through 2 or 3 classes of the Ring of Honor kids. It's gonna be okay.
You mean to tell me that you don't have any love for the legendary cheeseburger?
No, I don't.
Hey, don't diss cheeseburger.
I would diss cheeseburger all day. Okay.
Cheeseburger worked at the Tokyo Dome. Okay.
Yes, I know. It made the Tokyo Dome mean so much less.
You can't take that away from that mean green cheeseburger machine. He dresses in green. I never understood it. He doesn't dress in like.
You're giving it too much leeway. I'm talking all the way back to the days of Shane Hagedorn. It's been bad.
Hey, listen, Shane Hagedorn was a great manager who got beat up a lot.
Oh, that's fine. And God bless BJ Whitmer. He gave me my favorite Shane Hagedorn moment in the world. Powerbombing him over the top rope and dropping him on his fucking dome.
Fun fact, Shane Hagedorn works for AEW on their website. So he does.
Anyone can get hired in this business.
It's crazy. Like all you had to do was be known for this.
That's true, because he has some kind of feature on there with another guy that works back there, Sick Nick Mondo from CZW.
See, Nick Mondo makes sense because everybody found out that like the dude's like an amazing producer or whatever.
He's got like a good filmmaking background.
Yeah. Moxie used him for that badass Bloodsport promo.
Yeah.
That was like the door opening, right? And after that, it was like work.
Yeah. Even though the match took 2 years to actually happen because of COVID.
That's right. And when it did happen, Moxley took the L. Did we talk about that when we on the WrestleMania episode? That was interesting that they allowed him to do that. I thought that was I say interesting, but I'm really being stupid. But I mean, like for the sake of wrestling.
You mean because of the match or because of COVID?
No, like he on WrestleMania weekend, Jon Moxley came down to Bloodsport and he had the match with Josh Barnett and he lost. And I was like, wow, like that's legit the top fucking the top fucking guy in AEW. Like, part of me was like, wow, that's impressive, but the other part was like, what the fuck did you guys? What are you doing? Like, what the fuck?
Oh, but when Michael Elgin loses, nobody cares.
Ring of Honor cares. Would you be fucking beat up?
But I mean, like, and then everyone gave Ring of Honor shit for caring.
That's true. That's why I'm like, okay, so I don't want to be like the party pooper. Like, I'm not like, oh man, they're so dumb. Tony's stupid. He shouldn't have done it. But I'm like, is it wise to have your the top fucking dude in the company. Just because he's not wearing the title right now. Like,
I think the question would be, did anyone notice?
I mean, that's a good question. AEW has a very particular fan base. It's a million hardcore wrestling fans. And these are the people who would at least follow the results of something like Bloodsport.
Sure.
And it doesn't change the way they look at Jon Moxley. He's still going to come in and be fucking John Mox, Steve Austin, or whatever the fuck he is on every Dynamite. But it's just interesting to me that happened.
Like kind of, sort of Sandman is crosswalk.
It's so fucking. So yeah, that happened. What were we talking about originally?
We traveled really far to get here.
We weren't talking about anything, technically. We went from Tay Conti to a whole bunch of things.
We just went on tangents.
So then Daniel Bryan.
Well, no, before we get to Daniel Bryan, you also wanted to talk about AEW cracking that 1 milli.
Well, yeah.
You mentioned already, so keep going with it.
2 weeks in a row.
This is what I said earlier. I told you I was a fucking fan of this place. People, even I question whether they were going to do it. I swear. And let me clarify at least the number 1 million live viewers. Like, it doesn't matter to AEW. Genuinely, like on a business level, it's not a goal. Like if they don't hit 1 million, they're gonna make all the money that they're making regardless, and it's going to be seen as a success. But as fans, that's a nice, pretty number like to wave around, and they come so close to it all the time. It's like, are they gonna do it? It's not gonna happen. Are they gonna do it? So I genuinely thought like 950,000 is gonna be their fucking cap. Now that NXT's gone, they're gonna get back to almost 1 million. And every single time I think about, every single time I doubt AEW, every single fucking time, it's almost annoying. How do you do it? Every fucking time, the fucking sell out for Double or Nothing, sell out again on the next pay-per-view. All those sell out, I never thought, I was like, this doesn't make any sense. Of course, again, they did it. They did it 2 weeks in a row, so it looks like 1 million is their number that they should have been doing if they were like being undercut by WWE the entire time. As much as people like to feel, oh, they came to Wednesdays, NXT was already there. You said it before. NXT was an on-demand show that was available to stream on Wednesdays at 8. It wasn't live. It wasn't something people had to watch in NXT at 8 o'clock. I never saw people discussing NXT on Twitter at 8 o'clock on Wednesday. It was just like, oh, there was a good match this week. You guys should check it out. Probably.
Right. You know, I just think that I think that million number represents some olden day of WWE like putting up good numbers, and it's like if anyone else gets that number, it's just like oh, big golf clap. We're doing things like.
It does feel like there's still room for growth. Every fucking time I think they've hit a ceiling, they're like, no, look at this. Right.
AEW really does have a knack, though, for continuing to push forward and just do huge numbers with all kinds of different avenues and whatnot, similar to how TNA or Impact or whatever has a knack for somehow surviving every year.
See, if TNA's a roach that survives the nuclear bomb, I guess AEW's a fucking armadillo. Fucking, it's just in a ball.
Well, for measurement's sake, apparently the highest rated episode of Monday Night Raw ever, May 10th, 1999, 8.1.
Yeah, that's the number.
Those days are gone.
And people like to say, people love to say, all of television is down. All of television is down. The Oscars were 2 days ago.
Dropping.
The Oscars were 2 days ago, and they representative of a drop, I guess, but their lowest number, 8 fucking million people. So like, the WWE had that type of fan base at one point, and they whittled away at it on their own. So like, I don't want to hear shit about it just being because TV numbers are dropping. The quality of the fucking product clearly helped drive the audience away. Don't ever fucking.
It's almost like creating and putting out a quality TV product makes people tune in to watch a quality TV product.
Are you
fucking?
Is that the secret formula? Fuck you, Mr. Krabs. What the fuck? Good content brings viewers. What? People have to put SmackDown up as it's the best wrestling show of the week. Would you fucking agree with that?
Compared to Raw, definitely.
I think that's the thing. That's what gives it it's compared to Raw. Oh, it's like, wait, you're fucking people are not even watching NXT. I don't even get to watch NXT as much as I watch it, but I fucking keep up. I'm like, I watch Indy Hartwell fucking get 10 minutes of TV time before I watch Sami Zayn come out and dance on TV again like a fucking fool.
Oh Jesus!
They did the thing again where it was cool one time and it was like, yes, that's amazing. It's like, let's drive it into the ground. What if we did it until you hated it and we couldn't make a single
like fandangoing?
Fandangoing was the number one example of that the WWE driving shit into the ground. They had a worldwide phenomenon and they killed it within 1 month.
It's okay. He's back in NXT. He can't hurt anyone anymore.
Oh my god.
They'll get him. They'll get him down there too. Can we bring him up for main event?
We need Breezango for main event.
You've seen that? Have you seen Mansoor with his undefeated streak of like 40 matches or something? And it's all like main event.
Main event in 205 Live.
Yeah, what the fuck is that about? The dirt sheets, not us, the other ones, would have you say would say that it's specifically being done to keep the Saudi prince happy. But like, okay, either the Saudi prince doesn't watch the weekly product, therefore he doesn't care and doesn't know about the guy. So, and if he does, wouldn't he be offended by the fact that this guy doesn't have an undefeated streak on TV?
Mm-hmm.
It just exists on paper somewhere on the Peacock. It fucking doesn't make any sense to me. It's so weird. I don't know. Daniel Bryan supposedly fucking his contract coming up. He said he doesn't know what to do. He was at WrestleMania. He didn't feel like he should have been in the main event. He didn't want to be in this match. He felt like the story for Roman and Edge was strong enough as it was, which he had a point, I guess. 10 years to the day that Edge had to give up his world championship, he could have won it back.
Was Edge just not properly over? Like, what happened there?
That's what they felt. They felt like Roman might get cheered over Edge, and that would look bad. Like,
even after that Royal Rumble pop?
And they also felt that Edge looked too old.
And frail.
Well, when you hire a 40-plus-year-old man...
It's like, these are not the things that you 50. Think about when you first come up with the story. Did it just occur to you after you watched it on TV for a second? Like, you know,
like at what point did you decide he looked old?
I don't understand this place. So, and there was a point where I'd be like, that's far-fetched. I don't think they fed that. But I've been paying attention long enough now that that's actually very believable that that's what they decided halfway through the story. That's exactly what I suspect would happen there. So yeah, Bryan said he when the fucking Orton Batista match got inserted into that shit, it made sense because it felt like he was needed in there. They were going to vault on that entire situation. Nobody wanted that for a main event,
and it worked out.
But this time it was completely unnecessary. So he was already like and then he's like, I don't know if I want to stick around. Of course, WWE be like, but here's $3 million a year. You want to have another baby?
Mm-hmm.
But I thought it was interesting.
I heard the comment. The comment I remember hearing was that like Brian felt detached from the moment.
Yeah. He said as soon as he's no longer feels nervous, he didn't want to wrestle anymore. But then he clarified. He was like, oh well, whatever the case may be, he's probably gonna retire or he'll fucking stay. And but I wanted to imagine. It was fun to just think about free agent Bryan Danielson in I guess post-COVID 2021, hopefully, or 2022 or whatever.
You know, too, for a fact, when Brian leaves, the quality for SmackDown's writing and booking is going to drop significantly.
Would he leave the creative team, or would he just stop wrestling?
If the contract is up, he'd leave the company.
Sure, but
they would have to rehire him specifically for creative with a whole new contract.
He'd be staff.
He'd be the Bryan Danielson, the guy who takes ideas to Vince McMahon to have them ripped out on the day.
Have Vince just redo the whole show within the hour.
Meet your wimp.
Fucking the thing that kills me about Bryan is like we'd imagine that he'd leave WWE and do all these high profile things, but then when you listen to him in interviews, he's like, I want to go to CMLL and have a hair match. And he's like, he's going to do all obscure things that make him happy. And people will shit on it because they don't understand that's the thing that he wanted to do. But, fuck yes. On there.
Obscure is an interesting way to say it.
But fucking so this was a interesting edition of Dershi Radio, possibly a video edition of Dershi Radio if you thought so. Like, that. But more than likely you'll be listening to us on a Tuesday morning as usual. It just won't sound as crisp, and we apologize for all that. Like we said, next week's episode we'll have us as always talking. Oh my God! Was there an interruption there?
Yeah, we just completely lost John there.
I'm alive, everyone.
He's back.
Fucking yeah. So I guess we might not even have an outro. Don't listen for Shane Douglas after this. No post-credit scene this week.
Oh no!
So I can't fucking edit. My fucking computer's got no power line. I can't do shit. It's fucking this ghetto.
This is raw and uncut, ladies and gentlemen.
As it should be.
This bootleg ghetto version of Dershi Radio is what you're gonna get this week because
this is the Urban Wrestling Federation of podcasts.
We're gonna get this shit out.
We're just gonna restart the whole time.
We're gonna get that shit out there. But I guess this is John Escudero. These are my boys.
It's Greg.
Nick.
And we'll fucking see you next week.
And that dog in the background.
And the dog who wants to go outside. Next week she won't be here anymore. I got rid of her for ruining the podcast. Don't call Peter. We'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.
Thumb.